So we'll leave a copy.
This one's from KME.
What's the distribution? One to go to the EM.
Bulldog fire apparatus. Bulldog.
Do I need to know where these are from?
No. Just the name.
They have their names and price.
Valley Fire.
You know, we never
Valley
had.
Fire.
All right, how much you got?
You want the extra?
Ideally, there'd be no copies, so leave one here on the table.
You want just one here, or you want more?
One is all we need.
I want you to take one and one only.
And that one there, as I said, we've got 2 more boxes, so you've got 4 copies of that.
What are you gonna do with the others if you have more than 2?
We stack them up here.
Well, why don't I have more than one for the group so that we can look at it, so that you have one?
That's fine, as long as we know how many there are.
That's fine.
Lake Region. Fire apparatus. And you want a copy that has the electronic, you want the electronic copy.
All right, Valley Fire Equipment, I have 2 copies.
So this isn't top secret data, we just don't want to lose track of it before the review phase.
KME, I have
Which is
2
why I'm trying
copies.
to get the bidders' names into the minutes.
Hold on. Yeah, that's Bulldog. Yeah, so I'm leaving you one of each of KME and Valley Fire. Aurora, we got 2 and you've got 1. Yep, there should be one other one, right?
Right here. No. Okay.
I want the original.
Bless you.
And then this is HME Eric's box. I don't know how many copies we got.
We got more copies of
Okay,
the
so you got them,
card.
right?
There's 2 more. And I'll just give you the boxes.
And can we keep the original of this one here? One of them's marked original. That's why I gave you copies for it.
Bless you.
Excellent.
Before you leave tonight, get the other 2 cards.
Yeah. Alright, so 2 for Ferrari, 2 Valley, 2 KME.
Do you have a box line, or is that's not going to be brought up? For each of those?
We're still on the report information. Selectmen are committed to a particular price, and even to buying new as opposed to.
Louisiana Air.
You didn't buy anything at all?
I don't want to say the prices are relevant, I mean, we need to see how close they are to what we're looking for.
Yes, exactly, that's what I was talking
There's a
about.
lot of detail to go on.
Placeholder number in the draft warrant I've been working on, that is not anything real, it's just based on what Carol and I thought might be a need. And of course, it's up to the voters to set that number ultimately.
Yeah.
We get the first whack at it, and after that,
So you take that, and then I'll just give you 1 box, and I'll keep the other box.
Okay.
To the original. I think it is 2 boxes. I don't remember.
so that was exciting. Have we completed that phase of the evening? Events?
I'd love to be curious.
I suppose we can indulge our curiosity.
Oh, that's the liability insurance.
30 million dollars. But maybe we should have somebody else read the whole thing today.
What's the only price we found? Page 12.
Which one are you looking at?
Ferrara and, what was the other one?
Valley Fire?
Valley Fire, we're within $1,000 we said.
That's interesting.
Must belong to the same company.
Absolutely. Oh, look at, we have a gentleman from Lake Region.
Come in, bud. Anybody want? We're actually not here to select bid. We're pushing this over to our emergency management group for analysis. There are 4 bidders. My role as the selectman was simply to get all of those boxes opened and the vendors recorded in the minutes. We're not even, except for one busybody over here, we're not even thinking about prices. So, because this is public, you're certainly welcome to harvest what material out of these boxes you want to.
Okay.
But you won't get anywhere by asking us questions because we don't know. And the timeline for the committee's recommendation is really February. You may or may not be able to make a recommendation to the selectmen for the budget hearing on January 12th. I suspect not. So with the minutes as revised, are we happy to sign off on those, gentlemen? Sure. Got that, Kelly?
Yeah, the corrections.
With the corrections? They couldn't have been. So we're also in receipt, gentlemen, of a letter from the Cold River Local Advisory Group wanting to meet with us in the month of January to explain to us why we should pony up something like $24,000 in goods and services to make it possible for the long-discussed restoration of Warren Brook by commissions to go forward. I think we should meet with them anyway, but I have no inclination to recommend to the voters that they part with that money. But I need to hear what they have to say. So, Kelly, you'll reach out to Fred Ernst and propose a Tuesday night meeting. And if that doesn't work, please get in touch with me and we'll try to hammer something else out. Speaking of meetings, we have a posted select board meeting for tomorrow morning at 8:15. Is that correct, Linda?
Yep.
Open to the public, where we will continue our line-by-line budget analysis until Chris has to go.
That's all I get for tomorrow now?
On again, off again. 2 steps ahead of me all the time. Okay? We'll put my reports. So, did the ADA entrance get repaired this week?
Yes.
It's all functional and up to your standards?
Yes.
Got this paint to finish up.
Yeah, he's gonna tape it.
Okay. But it does,
They're gonna tape it,
but it does work?
Yep.
Okay, that's great. You gentlemen have an opinion about other priority carpentry items?
Seems like
Having reviewed that report?
the doorway over there. The doorway is
The big door in the fire station, we want to see another number on that, which I've asked for, and we'll ask her.
side door.
Side door. Side door.
Yeah.
Can we keep them as 2 separate items?
We have some.
Yeah.
So that we can see what we got for apples to apples?
I was gonna look up who did that other side door, when they had to replace the one on this side. What's wrong with that other door is that it's come loose.
Well, the biggest concern is the post holding the roof on is completely rotted.
Yeah.
And the only thing that's,
On what, the front door?
the side
Side door?
entrance side door.
Really?
Yeah. There's nothing holding it. If it gets any snow load, it's gonna collapse.
So-
Therefore
I
block.
think that might be kind of,
So your direction to me is to prioritize the work on that building and line item the proposals from,
Yes.
I would like to.
and do it right now, because most of that work, aside from paint, can be done in the cold.
Right.
There's some discussion about opening up the front of that building for a giant door retrofit in cold weather, but I'm not gonna have that discussion here tonight.
I don't think you can do it.
We will defer to contractors.
Right. But the side door, if we were to get snow,
so it's actually not just the door.
it's actually,
It's
the door is functional, it's just very old. It's the post and the roof.
Right.
They did rot for a couple of years, they brought up.
They didn't patch together, too.
Yeah, they brought up.
Been patched together a couple times.
Yeah, you can see where they put it out there.
Yeah.
To make it last that year.
So, Joe, you're still of the opinion that the door work for the overhead door would be a separate line item in the budget?
Or just part of building maintenance. I don't, unless the numbers are really big, I don't want to turn it into a warrant article.
No, the only concern I have would be almost like the line striping for the roads, that you throw it in the budget somewhere and it gets lost.
Well, that is the selectmen's responsibility not to let that happen.
And I agree, it shouldn't be a warrant article either.
And my other suggestion, if that door was replaced, it would be nice to have a full steel door, not a glass, non-safety glass door that could be.
You want a non-windowed steel door,
That's what I'm saying.
cheaper than a 9-panel door anyway, right?
Correct. Just for safety and security with the way things are, I don't think we should have a glass door.
Small pen. Yeah, we want the building to be secure.
So sand and gravel, I talked with our DPW guy twice in the last 10 days, and essentially we want the same services we bought in 2015 to be advertised for bids. Same quantities, same grade of materials. So we're hoping that staff will resurrect that old bidding document from the files, and we'll dust it off and change the dates, and we want to get it out right away, because even though we're not going to do that work until April, we need a number. The number's going to be substantially different than the one that's in the budget. We need to know that in January, not in June, right? So that's why I'm pushing on this one. So you guys will get in touch with me about the original RFP from last year. Appreciate it. If you find it, that'd be great. It's
We
not.
had 3 different things on it.
It's not a complicated document. Well, it wasn't until we let go and edited it.
Jesus.
One thing I am concerned about that nobody at the table can probably answer is, Biles Pool is filled back up again, and I can't stand from the shore and decide whether it's full because the flow is up or because the gate is filled up with crap again.
Now it's frozen.
And if it actually has filled up with crap again, we need to budget some money to clean that out one more time.
Any volunteers to go down and take a look at that?
Glenn will do it.
He was still open, all right.
The gate is open.
The gate's open.
And there is some water coming through that, but I don't know how much.
I did clog.
Right.
So
A lot of these,
we won't be answering that question.
not
in
really,
January.
because if we have a heavy flow, it fills up anyway and goes over. And it's not all the way over now. It's down a little.
So
I watch it, Dave.
I mentioned this just to keep it on your radar,
Right.
because we do have a statutory obligation to get that dam inspected. We do have RFPs out for inspection services, but they're not going to inspect it if it's underwater, I suspect. Or if they do, it's going to be a lot more expensive, and we don't want either of those things, so.
Fiber optics like they do for septic tanks.
Thank you. I think filling Glenn's pockets with nickels and tying a rope around his waist, don't tell him what we'll catch. Shopping cart. And we talked about carpentry, and we talked about fire trucks. So what is of interest to the public or the selectmen?
Sand and gravel?
Yes, ma'am.
There's a couple people that have been asking, I've called you guys, Linda, about whether you can have over Pine Grove. Did you ever find
Yeah,
out about that?
they are going to be getting it over there. What happened is, he was short-handed to put the gravel
Oh,
over
no,
there.
and I kinda understood that. Do you know when? Because.
I will find out when and I'll let you know.
Just post it on the webpage as an announcement.
Knows what I hear, just text me asking again about it.
Okay.
Okay.
So that topic that was sort of incompletely introduced there was, we keep sand for the public in 2 different places in town, and one of those places is still empty. What's up with that? When's it going to be full? When we find out the answer to that second question, we will put it on the webpage under announcements.
Can you go up to the town barn
Yep.
now to get it?
Yes, you can, although you need to be careful, because we had an automobile accident up there last year for an enthusiastic or unattended, check the box, equipment operator and a civilian managed to run into each other in daylight. So we don't really want people to go up there, but we're not saying no. And since we've offered no alternative for 2016 yet, we certainly aren't saying no.
When people called, I told them yes.
I assumed it was art, because I saw people out there on
What
Saturday.
you got, Glenn?
Excuse me, did you guys get a chance to review the old cruiser and I put it on municipal bid?
I reviewed it. I'm done. I These two guys are nodding their heads, so we can put it on Unibid, make it go away, and send us the check.
Where is it anyways?
It's at the town bar.
Did they take the stuff out of it, or?
No, I saw it. I thought it was over.
Randy came and picked it up. Actually, don't know where he took it. He said he was taking it to the town bar.
Well, that's, it's by the way, it disappeared too.
I thought it was over.
That's where we're supposed to go.
It did.
Okay.
Okay, because I started at commission.
That's where we're supposed to go.
There was some mentions on Monday, I don't know where it is.
Okay.
And I don't know if it's still there or not.
So there's a mystery that only you can solve.
I'll find out.
What else? Public. Madonna?
You guys got my email concerning the money Vilas was requesting for the, underground purposes,
Yeah.
We did.
Some time ago, right?
and you guys decided, no, because I noticed.
No, I never got it. How much did you want to put there? I mean, I can change it before tomorrow morning.
Yeah, we'll review that tomorrow morning, and I suspect we'll just add it to patriotic purposes, as you suggested.
Okay,
But,
can I keep going?
please.
Okay. The other thing, do you have forms, for the over 500 that you have to fill out? Because Vilas needs to have the forms if you do have that.
I can give you some.
And I think we'll, if you don't mind, we'll also go on a purchase order, where we're gonna write purchase orders, because there'll be 3 of us that'll be doing the purchasing, so we'll keep track. And Linda, I'll get back to you about, we gotta change the credit card,
Okay.
because that person won't be doing any of the purchasing.
No, and also, yeah, and we should be changing it now.
The letter from Dan and Molly, Sugar, dated December 7th, that we received December 18th. I mean, I actually talked to Molly, sent the letter, because we had talked before about the situation. I actually talked to her again today. I just wanted to let you guys know, there was a big problem there with the final wedding, and we were not aware of the way it was set up, because we had somebody else that was setting up the weddings, not the board. So this year, a board member, which will be in charge of doing that, because we already have 5 weddings, and the 6th one is in the process. There will not be going through Molly and Dan's place. Last year was very hectic, and she told me some of it had nothing really to do with Vilas, it had to do with people roaming around. But the gentleman that was from the electric company at 10 o'clock at night that was roaming on our place, trying to figure out how to get into Vilas, that was something that we couldn't do anything about. But that final wedding, there was a problem, and I think that will be solved now that we have somebody, a board member, who's taking care of that, explaining to them.
Good. I don't think it was a huge problem, but it
It
is
was a huge problem.
a case where the neighbors were inadequately alerted to comings and goings on land that they either own or control. And I think we set the stage for some excellent communications going forward, and that's really
Yes,
all we need.
and to let you know, the board on their own, not with Vilas money, also, before this letter was out, did give $100 dinner gift certificate to birdies to Wally and Dan, because we know they went through a lot.
Because the selectmen haven't we? That's nice of you, and we appreciate it. I did talk to Wally not too long ago in the aisle at Home Depot, and she wanted to make sure that we 3 understood that she was being well looked after.
And we'll probably.
Except for the road.
Because you're going through all the budgets of the town, we'll probably be waiting to present you with our budget and everything, since it has nothing to do with going on this budget.
That's correct, and we
we'll
would
talk about
appreciate
it
it.
when we have more time, okay?
No, that's exactly the right approach to take.
I have one question on old business. I forgot the term that you used, but
Intransigent.
yes. How'd we come with that?
You are not going to practice price discrimination in collections. We don't know, I'm sorry, that's not.
And I was gonna say,
Because it was your idea, I'm punishing you. The topic was, is there a way, since taxpayers subsidize ambulance services in town above and beyond what we might recover from citizens insurance companies, is there a way for the town to be more aggressive in collecting unreimbursed ambulance expenses from out-of-towners? And the short answer is constitutionally, no.
But I think it's,
Well, I think that's fair.
right, I agree.
But it didn't really, they didn't ask me my opinion. They just said, this is what it's gonna be, kid.
Can you base it on hardship type?
Well, that's what we do now.
Yeah.
Well, that, if you do that, then why couldn't you have them prove that they can't afford to pay it?
Because we talked about it in a completely different way when we asked for a legal opinion.
Because you figure, this is the way I kind of see it, is that because of the new high deductibles, if someone is on regular health insurance, you're going to submit it to the insurance company. The insurance company says, okay, fine, and they're going to send it back. It's your bill because you're under your deductibles. You're not going to get paid for it. So why should a town suffer for the high deductibles?
Where do you think I should go to get that money?
If they have a hardship, then that's not a problem, but if they can afford to pay it,
So-
it goes against their deductibles.
So you're advocating that we are more aggressive in our collections against citizens.
We have to be against everyone.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying, is that
Saying,
if you have a high deductible,
That's exactly the point. Well,
it has to be the same.
I would open the floor for that discussion, but it's probably better served in a larger venue with some preparation.
So when you have a call, the bill goes out how?
So basically how it works now is we go out, we have a call, we send in the state form to the state electronically, and at the end of every month, actually the first of the following month, our billing company takes all of the state forms and bills it out. And they send the bill out, they either collect the money or they don't.
But you have the insurance company on that form if they have insurance.
Yes, absolutely.
So it goes to the
After
billing
billing.
company bills the insurance company first.
So, I never see it again. Once we hit submit, that goes to the ether and back to the general fund, and we never see that money again. I just was trying to be fiscally conservative and give back as much as I can. That's why I raised the rates to.
So the reason I asked was my neighbor that you visited last week asked me how to pay you, and I said, no, I really don't know how to pay you, really.
Cash to Selectmen.
So yes, he will be getting a bill from EMS Billing Solutions LLC of Claremont, and it will tell him to remit payment to these wonderful gentlemen of the town of Alstead.
But they usually send a check, not cash.
So what percentage are we writing off?
Well, I
What's the dollar?
have not seen the amount that the ambulance has collected. I know the amount of calls we've responded to.
I give you the amount we collected. I can give you the amount we collected.
Oh, I haven't seen that amount. I don't know.
I guess what I'm trying to ask is if you see a trend of it going down, then
I-
obviously.
I don't think you had as many calls at the beginning of this year, so that
I
it's
guess-
down this year.
I guess I'm not trying to say that, is if you are billing $10,000 worth of ambulance calls, and you're getting back $2,000, and then last year it may be different, but it's a percentage of what are you getting back in percentage-wise
I would
of
have
what you're
to-
billing?
we
Is it going
haven't
down or
been-
is it going up?
Yeah, to date, we have not, I do not get a figure from EMS billing on what
Yeah,
they billed out.
that's through the billing companies, you
Yeah.
can't say it's writing off.
All right.
Right.
So what I,
It was set up basically because we used to be a free service.
Right.
Whoever had an accident, whether they lived in town or not, was a free service. Decided that we would at least collect on insurances. So we knew right away if someone didn't have insurance, They got one bill, and they never got another bill.
But now you don't know whether they're under deductible or not, so they
We
could have
have no
insurance.
idea what their
Right, so
insurance,
they could
right?
have insurance, but they just either, it's part of the deductible, then they choose not to pay it.
And that will be
That's what I'm trying to
something,
say.
yeah, but that is all through the company that's doing the bill.
Okay, so from my point of view, what I am curious about, now that this conversation has come up, is how much have we billed, how much have we collected? Those are two numbers. And if there is enough tracking, I don't know if we see it call by call. I assume there's a case number or something that follows these things all the way through.
Yes.
I think what we have to do is contact EMS billing and ask them what they
For
billed for last
a
year.
report, that's fine. So let's start off with those two very general numbers. What do we get coming in? What do we get going out?
Keeping in mind that as of December 1st, the amounts changed when you approved the rate change.
And I would like to get that, if it's possible for them to produce a monthly report, say going back to the first of last year, to the end of this year, then we can see, we can also get a feel for how long it takes to get reimbursed, if we do get reimbursed. So, but I think that data would be a good place to start.
Where you really see the big write-off and a big lump sum is if we have somebody, if we called down to Keene, Deluzio, and they don't get paid, they bill the town for the full amount. So say they had a
Right, and
a
that's,
paramedic, so the bill is like $1,500 or something like that. That's what you were really
That's
interested
what-
in, because he saw that.
so what was happening is, if we had missed a call, and Deluzio had to come to that call because we did not staff the truck,
Or couldn't.
or couldn't, the town became liable for that particular ambulance bill. And I noticed, going through paperwork and figuring things out, that we were paying $1,500-$1,800 people's private ambulance bills out of my budget, and it doesn't take too many of those to make it hurt pretty bad. So we needed to figure out a way that that didn't happen. So the first way is you get more people, and the second way is you increase the rates and do everything we can to not rely on somebody else to do it.
So that must be in the agreement, because I know if you reside in Keene and Lucio picks you up, they send that resident a bill and you
Yeah.
send it to collection.
Yeah.
Right.
But they don't, when they come up
And-
here, we assume that.
Correct, it's part of our agreement.
Right.
Correct, and I would also like to revisit, that agreement.
That's what
With,
I had a question
with
about.
multiple services, I would actually like to put our standby on, an RFP, because I don't think that we should just take what we're spoon-fed. I believe we should put the contract out this year for RFP.
We always have put it out, and actually, we couldn't even get, the last time, we couldn't even get the other service in the area to bid.
Doesn't mean we shouldn't do it again. We
No.
can write that RFP and send it to them.
And well, some of the
Short and
reason
simple.
for that too is that these full-time services used to get so much a year, whether they came here or not.
Like the
So then they
simple
took
one.
on the responsibility of the collections when they did come and take somebody. So Deluzio doesn't get a fee up front to cover our town.
They get a call at a time.
Right.
Get a call at a time, and they don't bill us until
It's
after.
an exciting topic that I think we all agree would benefit from more data.
I think the other,
So why don't we start with a little fact collection?
there's another
We'll write me a draft RFP.
calls that we've gone out on versus calls we're getting paid for too. Yeah, there's,
I think we have the calls we've gone out on, and this, I hope, would provide the ones that we get paid for. If we can track whether,
well, I'd like to see sheer numbers on that rather than just the dollars that go with it too. So I think it's gonna
Yeah,
be two
yeah, you
perspectives.
I think that'll
Can't
still
have
be the
bank
same
on.
data set, you know what I mean? Yeah. But I agree, I think that's.
I would absolutely, I would love that. I want to do my job as efficiently as I can,
What we want you to do.
and I think that would be the first way of doing it, is to ensure that we're paying everything we're owed.
and before the roof over there falls on your head, so.
That'd be nice.
Quickly, because it could be any day. I had one thing I wanted to bring up, actually I had two, and we have not discussed this, or we have, or.
Actually, this letter was brought to us, and this, I went back, because I did ask you whether you wanted us to do it.
What are you guys talking about?
Monadnock Family Services.
Thank you.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so I want to know, you know, if you want us to pay it or not, or put it in the budget.
Yeah, they are looking for a donation of a couple $1,000, and I don't know where we stand on that. I remember vaguely seeing this the first time, and we didn't take any action on it, so maybe this is a topic for tomorrow morning.
That's fine. Background is, so we do, historically, we have provided small amounts of money for regional social service agencies, home health care, community service, hospice, the mental health outfit whose name escapes me now. But those are voluntary,
Oh, no, yeah.
thank you, those are voluntary contributions by the town to agencies that you often come with a glossy appeal, and many times the amount of money they're asking for is based on population. This is a little different, although this is an agency that we have supported with $1,000 and less contributions in previous years. We did not, for some reason, send them anything last year. I have no idea why not. I'm generally in favor of that because my personal observation and family experience tells me that there's a lot more value flowing towards the town than cash flowing out, because many of these organizations have other sources of funding to pay for visiting nurse, and they're supported.
Isn't Monadnock Family Services get money also from the county?
They get money from, they're part of the United
I
Way.
know, I know that, but also the county every year has a whole list. I remember when I was a rep, and I'm not sure that, I think they might be also getting money from the county.
We could answer that question.
I'm sure we could.
The budget is right over there.
That was the
400 pages of it.
That was the first thing I had up, and then I was wondering if anybody had any update on friendly meals, and I had some questions, comments concerning the,
You got any update on friendly meals? Okay, all right, Bob, your girlfriend's part of this,
Petition right now.
for a warrant article.
I bring it up because a friend of mine who approached me about possibly using the Friendly Meals kitchen had since gone and looked in a different direction for a place to do a kitchen, and now he's kind of back to the town kitchen over here. So that may be getting revisited, and I'm not sure where we exactly left off on that. This would be a paid arrangement where he would provide cash for the use of the kitchen. His basic question is, should I be talking to Friendly Meals about this, or should I be talking to the town of Alstead? If you guys own it, shouldn't the money flow to you guys to offset utility bills and things like that? So I'm just kind of tossing that out there for your guys' ideas, opinions, and anybody from
So
the
who
public.
owns the building?
We do.
Town
Yeah,
does.
okay.
You do.
Well, I mean, I knew the property, but I
Yeah.
thought the building was owned by them.
It's filled with equipment that's been donated to Friendly Meals. Correct? I don't think the town
Or
owns
purchased by.
anything, or purchased by, right? I don't think we own anything inside of it.
And the building was rehabilitated by volunteer work by Mike Neary and Bill Moran.
If the equipment is owned by Friendly Meals, shouldn't the money that if an outsider used it be divided?
I think that was my original idea when I brought this up. That they would go to Friendly Meals, and the town could use some of the money to offset the cost of that building. So,
Well, the short-term solution would simply be putting all three players in the same room,
fair enough.
wouldn't it?
Yep.
Sell him the building.
Sell him the bill. Yeah, I like that too.
I don't think that's a good idea on town land.
And the building.
No, I wouldn't sell it for much less than $140,000.
I don't think it was a serious proposal, but if it turns into one, we'll look at it.
Any other thoughts, comments, any opposition to the idea of renting out space?
I have no opposition to exploring it, as long as all the players are in the room at the same time, otherwise we'll have the same meeting 3 times. I'll get 4 different answers.
And I think that's what people sort of knew when they were in there and when they were.
I think it's details that reasonable people can work out.
Right.
In the meantime, we're expecting a petition warrant article in support of Friend Emil's use of a piece of the Bragg Lane property. And we're expecting some kind of report from the committee that meets every other week at the Langdon Town Hall at a time inconvenient to all of us.
Inconvenient?
Like now. And we twisted a bunch of arms to get an Alstead rep on that committee, and unless something's changed with this Paramore, we completely failed to find anybody in town willing to serve on that committee. Doesn't mean we're unrepresented.
Not a bad idea. Yeah, I've actually spoken to her about that before.
What else is on your mind, ladies and gentlemen?
Oh, while you have your carpentry folks, or if you guys want to tour the village fire station, maybe we could look at the back door that divides the fire station from the town hall and put a proper emergency exit securing device, not a piece of chain link through a hasp.
It's really efficient.
For that door. The door needs to be, it needs to be a metal security door with push fire exit on it. Just because the way it is now, there's no proper egress if need be.
We just got one here, day before yesterday.
So I would invite you guys to come look at it and
I'm not walking in that building with a hard at it.
Once you're in the building, you're fine.
Yeah,
maybe.
it's a danger zone around the perimeter apparently.
So you'll send me an email about that too, so it's on my list.
Yeah, I can agree.
Send it to me, that's even better. Then I get my office. Yeah. We have not heard back from the Securities and Exchange Commission of the state of New Hampshire.
I haven't seen them on 2020 or like that either. Still pursuing it or just let it go by?
Give them a month. The Attorney General's office was quick to comment, but it showed in the quality of the non-advice that they offered. I think that's an opinion, not a fact. And the federal SEC was unwilling to provide an official comment, but the unofficial comment was, well, that's alarming. But again, that's an opinion, not a fact. So we're not done talking about it, but we did last week, we received and reviewed and signed off on a town investment policy, which is non-controversial. It just says that we'll be careful, which I think is what we're doing when we're trying to get some harder answers about this particular firm. The library trustees are pursuing a parallel inquiry of their own, which is good, because they have all of their money at stake. Their entire trust is with that firm.
And I will move that we accept the minutes with the changes that we discussed 40 minutes ago.
And not a carpentry issue, maybe more of a, I don't know who's in charge of fixing it, but the lamp on the granite in front of the fire station is knocked off and laying in the road in front of it. Maybe that could, I don't know whose department that would be, but maybe that could get fixed before it gets smashed off and gone.
How did it fall?
I don't need to know.
I don't know. I'm thinking, by the looks of it, it rotted off, because that's a pretty giant piece of granite. It's unmarked.
So I should call an electrician, I would assume.
Well, it looks like it was stuffed full of solar lawn lights.
So are there other items of interest from the public? The short answer would be to ask.
Maybe there is no electricity to it.
Yeah.
We have a line item for baling wire, duct tape, and chewing gum, so we can keep up our record of repairs.
So if I were in charge, I would simply say, send David over there to look at it and tell us what he sees. How about that?
I'm okay with that.
All right? Had enough? Give up? Surrender? Favor of adjourn? Adjourn.